pneumonia, I mean cutaneous mucormycosis. Also, diabetic or immunocompromised patients, cutaneous lesions may arise where? Cutaneous, of course, if they're exposed to trauma, this is a disaster. There is another way. Insulin injection site also. This area may be by contamination, whatever, local health caring. Okay, therefore they may develop in the site of injection, or in dwelling of the catheter. The disease may be flared, cutaneous in those diabetic patients. I mean, a primary infection produces acute inflammatory response. That means in the beginning, what the lesion appears like what? Of course, in the beginning, it appears inflammatory reddish area with purulent abscess formation. Purulent abscess formation within the time, okay? Tissue swelling accompanied, and then necrosis. We return to the necrosis. Here, blackish area or black is forming necrosis. The lesion may appear red in the beginning, as I mentioned previously, reddish and indurated, and often progress to be black scar. We return to the black scar. Okay, gangrenous effect, black scar. Therefore, the name. We return to the name, okay, of the disease. Of course, the necrotic tissue within the time, we can see this necrotic tissue will be sloughed, and forming big ulcer. Within the time, forming big ulcer, okay? As you see, this is a site, clearly cutaneous mucormycosis at the puncture site, okay? Those patients with whatever insulin or whatever the treatment, you can see it, it's just look like a blackish in color, okay? This is ulcerated after formation of necrosis or necrotic tissues, sloughing as I mentioned, and ulcer, big ulcer will be formed in this area. Okay, now gastrointestinal mucormycosis. The fourth category is gastrointestinal mucormycosis. This is also very important. Maybe you cannot imagine. This is maybe reached the GIT. It is reached the GIT. It's post complication of the GIT. How? By which method? Let us see the method. Okay. This, although it is rare entity, I mean gastrointestinal mucormycosis, but it occurs in nosocomial setting. Considered to be nosocomial setting. Okay. And it is thought to be arise at the by ingestion. Contaminated food of the spores, contaminated with the spores of the fungi, may be consumed by any personnel, and of course, if he take high doses of the spores, maybe the disease may be developed, depending on the immune status of the patient, of course. Okay? What are the symptoms the patient develop? Abdominal pain, symptoms of intestinal obstruction such as distension, nausea, vomiting are the most common. In addition, there are additional symptoms maybe accompany the disease, which is the fever and hematochezia. Hematochezia, also bloody stool, also is another manifestation associated with gastrointestinal mucormycosis. You can see this is a large bowel of the patient suffering. You can see this is feces, of course. This is the gangrenous effect due to the necrotic area of the necrotic bowel of the patients with gastrointestinal mucormycosis. Now, disseminated mucormycosis. This is also very, very important because it's so complicated and it will have wide range of symptoms, not easy to diagnose. Okay. Disseminated mucormycosis. Hematogeneously disseminated mucormycosis may be originate from any primary organ. Maybe the patient suffering from pulmonary, okay, and from lungs, disseminated through blood, and inciting another organ. For example, CNS, whatever, any organ may be involved. Okay, the major organ incited by the blood when the fungemia caused by this agent. Brain is the major part and the major target for this disease, and also maybe incede another organ, spleen, heart, skin, even the skin. If you remember, I said in the beginning, cutaneous manifestations may be occurred due to implantation, trauma exposed to the source, but also it may be arise due to hematogenous incision. Okay, blood, incede cutaneous area, skin. Two ways for cutaneous mucormycosis. Patients may present with an insidious. It is insidious. Normally, the symptoms of the mainly, okay? Onset of is suffering from what? I mean, those patients with CNS manifestations, suffering from what? With neurological symptoms, okay? Of course, CNS manifestation, of course, neurological symptoms. With more sudden development of focal neurological deficits. Also, another, any neurological deficit, and also mental, even the mental status or acuity of the patient may be altered due to the affection of the CNS, okay? Maybe coma associated with the late sequel of the events, maybe coma and arrest, respiratory arrest, maybe death, okay? Due to these complications, late sequel of the events reach these areas, causing these manifestations. Of course, put in your mind that mortality rate of hematopoiesis-related mucormycosis 100%. No way, 100%. Okay. Now I cover almost important information about mucormycosis. I want to correlate mucormycosis with COVID-19. Here, how it's occurred, why, where, whatever. Just a few information, okay? These are, of course, a systematic review. This review I will show for you now. It's a case reported worldwide, and in India particularly. The highlights of these informations: increasing cases of rhino-orbital mucormycosis in people with COVID-19 are being recently reported, of course. So far, of course, according to the data, 101 cases till now. This is according to this report in 13 May 2021. I'm up to date, okay? According to this information, okay? 101 cases of mucormycosis in patients with COVID-19 have been reported, of which 28 cases belong to India only. 28 belong to India. Diabetes was represented in 80% of cases, diabetes only. 80%, I mean diabetes, of course, COVID-19 with mucormycosis, of course. 80%, while corticosteroid treatment was given for COVID-19 is 76. That means diabetic with mucormycosis, of course, with COVID. I'm speaking about the COVID, okay? 80%. While those without, who not diabetic, but due to corticosteroid treatment, due to COVID, the percentage is 76.3%. Okay? This is a return of the information. 0.101 cases of mucormycosis in people, but there's more details here. With COVID-19 have been reported. 82 or 81.2 cases are in India. 19 from the rest of the world, as 9 cases, which is represent 8.9% of course USA, and 3.1 from Iran, and only 19, which is represent 18.8 cases as of now were reported from the parts of the world. As I mentioned previously, this study published at 13 of May 2021. Okay. Mucormycosis was predominantly seen in males more than in females. You know, outdoor activity of males, particularly in farmers, wherever. Okay, it's more than females, therefore they acquire the disease more than females. Okay, the males 78.9%, both in people who were active, 95.4% or recovered. That means either recovered. This is an important point for the clinician. Diabetologist in particular, okay? Either recovered patients from COVID-19, may develop after, okay, the COVID-19 recovery, they may develop the mucormycosis, and particularly in diabetic patients. This is very important information. Pre-existing diabetes mellitus was present in 80% of all cases, as I mentioned previously, while concomitant diabetic ketoacidosis alone represent 14.9%. Corticosteroid intake for the treatment in COVID-19 76 mentioned previously also. Mucormycosis involving what? Nose and sinus. This is categorized the percentage according to the site of infection. Okay? Those infected, mucormycosis isolated or infect nose or sinuses represent only 88.9%, while the most common, followed by rhino-orbital, which is represent 56.7%, and the mortality rate over all these 101 cases just 30.7%.